Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into our rally plans for 2024. And who knows, maybe you could meet us at one of these. Either way, let's discuss on today's Graybeard Biker. So you will notice today that I have a guest with me. You've seen her before. She's in every one of our videos. This is the female side of Graybeard Biker, which is called Biker Barbie. Biker-Barbie.com.
This.
Yes, and so
Gesticulating.
welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me here, husband.
So she's a little more fun than I am, but
I am not. I am not more fun than he is. I'm funnier, but I'm not more fun.
Now, last year we started bikerrally.com, and while I haven't been able to grow it much as of yet, it lists most major rallies across the country, and there are a lot of them, particularly the East Coast. But there are just too many. We can't go to all of them. So get out your calendars. We're going to kick off the new year with a Biker's New Year's resolution list. Where shall we go in 2024? What rallies do we plan to attend this year? Which ones are new? Which ones are we going to repeat that we've done before? And which ones of these have you been to that are new to us that you can maybe give us some recommendations as to what we should do when we're there? Now, we are looking for sponsors for each of the events that we're talking about today to kind of help cover the travel cost of going to all of them. Now, as a sponsor, you would be interviewed for the rally video of the event that you're sponsoring. And while we'll host it on our YouTube channel, you will have the ability to use the video however you see fit, wherever you see fit. So it's inexpensive video marketing for you there. So if you have something to offer the biker community, we invite you to entertain becoming a sponsor. To do so, you can just go to graybeardbiker.com/sponsor, fill out the form there, and that will start the conversation. So what do we want to do this year? Well, first up, we're planning on going to Gibtown Bike Fest from January 12th to January 14th. We haven't been there before, but it's not far from St. Pete, which is the last rally of the year. Actually, we just got finished with the video series from that because it was just in November. Now, Gibtown is also known as the greatest show on earth. It was originated as a gathering of motorcycle enthusiasts in Florida, but what makes it unique? Well, it's supposed to be a carnival-like atmosphere. It's going to have stunt shows, live music, a custom bike show. It's supposed to be a great time. We actually saw a video documentary on it, which made us consider actually wanting to go to it. Now, the issue that we have this year is it's supposed to rain. And if it rains all weekend, it's not worth us going down there.
I did get new rain gear from Santa.
That's true, you did.
Santa gave me rain gear this year. So maybe that's why it's raining, so that I can test out my rain gear.
That's a good possibility. All right, so after Gibson, and one of the reasons we may not go to Gibson is one in Sarasota called Thunder by the Bay. It's February 16th through the 12th.
That sounds like Valentine's Day weekend.
Valentine's Day week.
Oh my God!
Close. I guess it's Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah, well, because the 14th is Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
and this is the 16th.
A couple days after.
I mean, we could celebrate.
Why not go to
Oh
Florida?
my gosh, we could do both. We could celebrate Valentine's Day on the 14th, and then you could do something like really, really romantic and special that day, like over the top romantic on that day, and then on that weekend, you can also do something overly romantic in Sarasota. Just a suggestion.
Now, this event, one of the things that makes it somewhat different is it's rooted in supporting charitable causes, raising funds for organizations that are local to the Sarasota area.
You gotta love charitable causes, though. That makes everything better.
And raising funds for good causes is good.
I mean, we're going to have a good time. We might as well be doing it for charity.
A lot of times I don't know who the causes are. for example, for this one, I have no idea who the cause is. We'll find out before we
We
go.
got time. We got time.
I'll put it right here. So this event is known for having a custom bike builders showcase and also for hosting older national acts. This year they're going to have Molly Hatchet and Grand Funk Railroad playing at the event. Then of course we have the legendary Daytona Bike Week. That's March 1st to the 3rd. Now this is the second biggest rally in the country, depending on who you ask. It started back decades ago. It's the birthplace of motorcycle racing within the United States. And it's a mix of racing, bike shows, beachside cruising. You can still cruise on the beach there. It used to be you could cruise on the beach all day long. Now they only have a certain section that you can cruise on. But it is number 2 in the nation and one that we frequent fairly often whenever we can.
I like Daytona. I mean, I know a lot of people go, I mean, it's one of the biggest shows, right? So tons of people go every year. It happens twice a year. There's Biketoberfest and then the spring rally, which is what you're talking about. And I think there are people that are burnt out with Daytona. I'm not one of them yet because there's so many different places to go in Daytona during Bike Week. There's so many different areas where festivities are happening. And I actually haven't hit all the areas yet. My husband hasn't taken me to all the areas yet.
Well, Bruce actually sold Destination Daytona, which is the big Harley dealership there. Luckily, the new owners are going to continue to let it be one of the main places for the event. And one of the things that I really like there is a lot of times we'll stay at the hotel that is right there at Destination Daytona. And I remember one year we went, you could literally hear Buck Cherry still playing outside of our hotel door. So while that wasn't good for sleeping, we could look out on our balcony and see the stage right there.
It was very conducive for consuming adult beverages.
Yeah, not far of a DWW, drinking while walking. I don't know.
I think that's just called stumbling back to your apartment. But you park your bike and you don't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah. The highlight spots of Daytona that we always frequent, and there's more than these places. Like she said, there's some that we haven't been to. There's Destination Daytona. Then of course there's Main Street, and then there's the Speedway. Of course you can go there. Then there's also the Cabbage Patch. There are tons of places that you can go. Iron Horse is there. The place across from Iron Horse is there, and that's Hog Graveyard or some shit. What's it called? Hog Pen? Hog Pen, yeah. So lots of places
down there. Did you say Hog Graveyard?
Yeah, whatever. So there's lots of places there to go. I'm sure you can find something to do. One of the things that we did that we thought was a good idea year before last is that's when I got my bike's audio system put in. Bad idea. Because we were literally stuck at Destination Daytona all day.
I was this close to calling an Uber just to go back to the hotel.
Yeah, so that's not something that I recommend doing unless you're going to get something done very simple. I had actually called ahead, pre-ordered what it is that I wanted to have done, made an appointment, was there first thing in the morning, and literally came out after hours.
11 o'clock p.m. We were one of the first bikes in, and one of, if not the last bike out.
No idea why that was. Doesn't really seem right. There was tons of other people that got service on their bike, but they didn't plan this far in advance. Maybe they weren't getting as much done. I don't know.
I also kind of felt like, sorry to throw shade on this particular business, but because it was Daytona Bike Week, or actually was it October?
It's Biketoberfest. Yeah.
Biketoberfest. Because it was during the rally, they were inundated with a lot of bikes coming in and getting various things done. So there was a long wait to get to our bike, so it was first come, first serve, which I thought we would benefit because we were there before the rally opened. It was like 6 a.m. And however, I will say that because they were so busy, I don't feel enough attention was actually given to the process of what we were having done to the bike. So there were parts that were left out and kind of misplaced. True. And at one point, what you purchased, they didn't even have. And we didn't know until about 8 o'clock p.m. They were like, oh, we actually don't have those anymore.
So we did this.
It was just a kind of a cluster F from beginning to end. And I think it actually would have been a lot better to go off season so that they could pay more attention to it like they probably, hopefully, normally do.
Now, most of the time, getting your bike worked on at a rally is a good idea. Particularly because whatever you're going to buy, they'll usually install for you at free. Try doing that at a dealership. So that's a good thing. But we were getting something that was rather large done, and we weren't doing it at a rally vendor. This shop was in Daytona all the time. They kept wanting to push us off further in the week. We were only in town for the weekend. So I think that if you get it done at a regular vendor, like Amsoil Adams, for example, one of these places that do certain services, and they're used to traveling from city to city, they have certain efficiencies in place that this guy just didn't have. Not that he wasn't a great guy, but I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, I hope that he operates better during the off season.
Yeah. All right, so fast forward into the spring. We're talking March 16th and 17th. We're going to try to go into Alabama to a thing called Bama Bike Fest. Now, I believe I may have gone to this one several years ago, but it will be a renewed experience because honestly, I do not remember it from several years ago when I went. I'm talking, would have been back in my club days, which was 15, 20 years ago. So
back when the world was in black and white.
Yes, I haven't been in a while. But it's one of those events that happens 3 times a year. So it's very easy to overlook because you always think, well, I'll just go to it next time, right?
Yeah, because we're so close.
Yeah, but we've never actually been to this one. So that would be an interesting idea. It is 21 and up, and they're known for having biker games. And, they have camping and that sort of thing.
Naked people?
Yeah, probably so. 21 and up, camping usually means naked people.
Wait, okay, whatever. I don't care.
All right. Then we're going to be returning to Tallahassee, Florida for the 3rd annual Tally Bike Fest. Now, this happens April 11th through the 14th this year. We went last year. We enjoyed ourselves. It's small and growing. We didn't go the first year, but we went the second year.
That was the first time we won an award.
It is. It's the first time that Alchemy was in a bike show after getting that project completed. So, yeah. So I guess it has a good taste in our mouth because of that.
Love Tally. I think, isn't also Tally Bike Fest the one that was female-owned and operated?
Yep.
Bitchin'. I'm hoping it does grow and expand a little bit more to kind of fill out the vendors a little bit. But last year there were a lot of female-centric vendors at this one. It's not alienating men, but just in general, ladies. Like when we go to these rallies, there's a lot of dude stuff there. So this was a lot of female-centric things. In fact, my favorite vendor, who I support and love and speak nothing but good things about, is Hightail. Hightail is the vendor. It's a female company, and I met her and her husband, and they're just lovely, normal, awesome people who make this product where it's almost like a beautiful hairnet that sticks on the back of your motorcycle helmet. And it doesn't look like a hairnet. It looks kind of like a latex hair banana hammock looking thing. Anyway, and what you do is you just kind of twist your hair up into it and put it in, and that way you're riding around with no wind in your hair, there's no knots. I have long hair.
I don't have that problem.
He's usually good, but when I wear a helmet, I have to braid my hair, or I have to put something in it, or put my hair in a bun or whatever, and it ends up getting kinky, or I leave my hair down and it gets knotted. So this is just a really great way to protect your hair when you're riding on the bike. The name of the company is Hightail. This is not sponsored. I'm just telling you, I love it. And I bought their product. I use it all the time.
Nice people. Good people.
Not very good people. She's great. Hey, if you see this nice, awesome woman from Hightail, you reach out. Write a comment. Whatever.
Actually, that's one of the reasons why we kind of want to continue to go into this, because it's nice to watch the rally grow, right? So the first year, it was in a completely different place. The second year, it was bigger, and we're expecting it to grow more and do more as it goes on.
I like the place that it's at. Mm-hmm. So the Tally Fest is in a kind of like a park off of Main Highway, and you have to kind of go down this little road, and then it's like kind of back in this thicket, which is kind of cool because it's sort of separated from the rest of everything that's going on in Tallahassee. But lots of space, real lovely. The problem is it's all gravel, if you remember, mm-hmm. which is kind of hard on bikes. There's a little bit of pavement, but I remember driving all the way through it. There's a lot of gravel.
Yeah, and that, of course, if you ride, you know that is slippery. So
yeah, and that was the first.
And dusty.
That was the first year we showed the bike.
Yeah,
so
I had
as
to
soon
clean
as
it
we
afterwards.
parked the bike, I got off the bike and I'm like, wow, that's a mess. So having to clean the bike up before the show.
But like I said, watching something new and encouraging it to grow is nice. I actually went to an event probably 12 years ago or so now, where they tried to have a biker rally in Noonan, Georgia. They did it at a place called Powers Crossroads. It was a great location. They had tons of people coming. It fell flat on its face because while they had lots of vendors and it was in a great place, they scheduled it for the same time as some other big rally. I can't remember if it was Daytona or what it was. But if you're planning a rally, you cannot compete with another big rally, and that's what they did.
People will only choose one.
Yeah, it's kind of, they don't have anything in Atlanta anymore. We used to have, we tried to have that. They also tried to have one up near Gainesville, I believe it was. They tried that one for 2 years in a row, and it didn't work either. They had Destination Helen for a while, which was up in Helen, Georgia, which is an alpine village tour area. That was cool, till the city started giving the Chattahoochee gear, I can't remember the name of the store, started giving her, she was the main sponsor, started giving her a hard time. So she stopped doing it. It wasn't worth it anymore.
It's such a shame, because that was a really fun one.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about having a rally, number one, in a place where there's beautiful riding.
Oh, yeah.
Up in Helen. I mean, just so many beautiful rides. Also, it's an alpine village. It looks like a Bavarian German village. So it's like a cool touristy looking, you're not going to go anywhere else like it area with tons of really cute affordable cabins that you can rent. And so, I mean, it's just a gorgeous place to have a rally.
Yeah, so we really enjoyed that. Sorry that that's gone. If you want to bring it back, we'll support you here on the channel with doing that because we really liked it. I do understand the cost of having it and having the city not support it is an issue. I get it.
Maybe there was other things like, I don't know, like other problems that some patrons were causing or something, or businesses, I don't know.
They do have another event that's up there. I think it's for BMWs though. We've never been to it because we don't have a BMW. But
that would be a good reason.
But yeah, maybe we'll look into it. It's on the Biker Rally page, but we haven't been to it again because we haven't. So the other thing that used to be in Atlanta was Abate used to have a big swap meet that they did at Lakewood Fairgrounds, which was huge. Well, they stopped doing that several years ago too. They actually did that when I moved away from Atlanta before I came back to Atlanta. So so that's good. So we don't have anything to do here except for go other places.
Well,
so we do a lot of that.
Ash City, or what is it? Is it Ash City?
Angel City.
Angel City.
Yeah, there's Georgia still has some stuff. Angel City is here. Milledgeville is also here.
Covington has a little rally.
Yeah, Covington has a little one that we went to. And it's little, but it's nice.
It's fun.
It's
a
local.
Really fun small rally.
So we'll probably do that one again. I don't believe it actually made my list, but we'll probably do that one again.
You can't have one in Atlanta though, because Atlanta's not a proper city to have. I mean, it's too city. You'd have to have it like.
Well, there's not much riding in Atlanta.
No, like you'd have to be up in the mountains.
Yeah, you'd have to go outside of Atlanta to get any good riding. A lot of these places.
I don't know where Angel City is, but it's like even in
it's south.
Even in the middle south of Georgia, there's just nothing, right? I mean, I wouldn't imagine there's good riding there either.
I don't know.
You ride through there to get to cooler places.
Like I said, I haven't been to it. Angel City is actually pretty popular.
Yeah.
It's actually, if my memory is correct, it's like a western town that's built out, and all the vendors don't have to bring tents; they have little shops that are built into the campground.
You should take me to one.
Yeah. So maybe we'll make that this year too.
I don't know when that is.
Now, if you want to see what Tallahassee was like, we went last year. We did a video of it. So I'll actually put the link to it up here in the corner so that you can check out that video. One of the reasons that we do this, the channel, is to have it where people can see what events are like that they may not have been to yet. Also, a lot of people, if they went to it, they try to find themselves. And if you do, always let us know, because that's a pretty cool thing too.
Oh yeah, who doesn't like catching themselves and their partner or whatever on their bike, and like that's cool.
Which brings up the next one. The next one that we're going to be going to is Leesburg. Now, Leesburg may be my favorite rally. And the reason why I kind of made that segue is we actually saw Alchemy sitting in somebody else's video before we were doing videos. We were looking for ourselves, and we
that's
found...
That's why you like it?
And we found... No, that's not
No, because you like
it.
But
we found our where we parked on Main Street there.
It's fun.
But we really enjoy Leesburg. Now, it happens from April 26th through the 28th. It is known as the world's largest 3-day motorcycle and music event. They do have some pretty cool bands that are there. They've had some, again, national acts. They also have a lot of cover bands or tribute bands and that sort of thing.
And the bands are like right in the middle of all the action.
They are. They're
the
right in
stage
downtown.
Is right in the middle of the action.
Yep.
So you don't have to like try to find it on some vendor map about where to go or whatever.
Well, they also, I think they say they have like 30 concerts for the entire event. So that's quite a bit. And then there's a big, massive bike show. There's a rat bike show that's pretty cool. It's the same time as Milledgeville Thunder Rally in Milledgeville, Georgia, which is why we haven't been to Milledgeville. Is because I really like Leesburg.
Yeah, Leesburg is a good walking bike rally, like because it's pretty like everything is centrally located, like. And then right down through the middle of all the action are bikes that you can kind of scoop or whatever. That's a thing you guys say down here. But you can scoop the bikes where you just drive up one side, drive down the other, and people just kind of watch it. It's almost like your own little parades and show off your bike a little bit, or just kind of get in front of everybody. And a lot of shenanigans happen. But you can just walk around in and out of the shops that are there. Plus, there's vendor tents set up and. A lot of welcome bikers. Everybody in the town seems to be pretty on board with what's happening, so there's a lot of participation and stuff.
Yeah, and it's one of the places, again, that I appreciate that keeps going into the nighttime. A lot of these places, if you've heard me rant about this before, that they start closing up the vendor village at 6 o'clock in the evening. It's ridiculous. This place will go on until you cannot walk down the street anymore. So.
We usually leave before it closes.
Yeah.
Which, we're old.
But like I said, it's the same time as Milledgeville's Thunder Rally. Since we haven't gone to that one before, maybe we'll choose that one this year. But I didn't get to go to Leesburg last year. So we may go down there because Florida has different laws than Georgia does when it comes to motorcycles. So... we'll see which one we do. Let us know your thoughts if you've been to either one of these, because they are, again, at the same time. If you've been to Milledgeville, let us know what you thought, because we haven't been to that one yet. And it's actually closer to us. Yeah. And to make decisions even more tough, there is a third one that shares the same weekend. And that is Outer Banks Bike Week in Harbinger, North Carolina. It used to be in March. This year, it's going to be in April. Now, Outer Banks is one of those that does both spring and fall, so it's possible that we will not go to it.
Catch it on the flip side.
We'll catch it in the fall time. But it's another one that we haven't been to either. So which one of these three do you think are best? Well, if you've been to them and you know about them, let us know what you think.
Outer Banks, Leesburg, and Milledgeville.
Then on June 21st through the 23rd, we're heading up to Chicago again for Motoblot. Now, we went to... She's from Chicago.
Sorry.
We went to Chicago last year when we won the first round of the Gasoline Alley Bike Show. You had to enter a picture of your bike and whatnot before to be invited to be in part of this bike show. So because we entered Alchemy and we got invited to go up there, we went up to it, and it's different. Motoblot is different.
It is a very different kind of bike. It's a rally. Yeah. I guess it's a rally.
It's in an urban setting. It is downtown Chicago, and it's more of a rockabilly punk, if you will, sort of music showcase that has an eye towards motorcycle culture within the Windy City. But it's a lot different. If you want to kind of take a sneak peek at we were there last year again, I'll put the link up here as well in the top corner. and you're welcome to check out what you think about it. We'll probably go up there again because she's from Chicago. Her parents are up there. Place to stay.
Okay, so I have comments about this one. So I recommend, if you're looking for something unique to do, I recommend going to Motoblot because, well, when we were there last year, it was hotter than the devil's armpit. Like, no joke. People think Chicago's cold all the time. It's not. It's either crazy hot or crazy cold. It happened to be crazy hot when we were there last year, so take heed. Anyways, it was very interesting to go to the rally. I would say that we were more of the older traditional bikers that were there.
Yeah, they were like, you ride a Harley, don't you?
Right, but the interesting thing is there were no crotch rockets. I'm not slamming crotch rockets in this video, but it was all cruising bikes. There were some awesome bikes there, actually. And they were all kind of driven by a lot of the younger crowd, which was kind of cool to see. We were the oldest, dirtiest bikers there, I think. But it was actually really cool. But I recommend the idea of having this bike rally in the middle of an urban environment, because riding around on the bike, riding around Chicago was amazing in the summertime. If you've never been in Chicago during the summer, there's music in the air, there's smell of food in the air, because all the restaurants are indoor, outdoor, everything's open, everybody's out on the streets. So everything kind of smells like food, and there's always like bands playing, there's music, driving up and down Lakeshore Drive, or as we call it, LSD. So driving on LSD. Driving on Lakeshore Drive right along the coastline of where Lake Michigan is just, you can't beat it. It's like very unique, and it was a really, really, really cool part of being at that rally last year.
And there's Chicago pizza.
And there's Ed DeBevick's. If you don't know what Ed DeBevick's is, Google it. It's one of the best restaurants in Chicago.
So anyway, it's hosted downtown. You can see skyscrapers all around it, but it's in it's an alleyway, but it's more than one alleyway. It's an interesting setting. Again, check out the video in the corner. We will be going to it again because now that we know that it's there, her parents won't let us not go to it. So we will be going to it again. It's unique. A lot of people on this channel, when they saw the video that we did, they didn't know Chicago had anything.
I didn't know Chicago had anything, and I was born and raised there.
Yeah, it's different, but it exists.
I would say, as far as rallies go, it's not great on vendors. There's not a lot of great vendors and cool motorcycle gear and apparel shopping there. There's not good rides as far as
twisty roads and nothing like that.
Country settings and stuff. But I will say you do get a really interesting self-guided ride through the city, and that is really cool to see. I'm in love with Chicago, so I think it bears having a tour of Chicago on the back of a motorcycle is really cool.
Yeah, we went to, there's several dealerships in the area, so we went and, did the run between each one of those, and that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, Chicago Harley in Rosemont is a really cool place.
So then we're going to try to go to Little Sturgis, Kentucky, which is a nickname for Kentucky Bike Week, which is from July 15th through July 21st. Now, we haven't been to this one yet, but it has been inspired, of course, by the big rally of Sturgis, which is in South Dakota. Their whole idea was to bring, that taste of that rally down to people that are on the East Coast and in the South and can't really make the big pilgrimage up to South Dakota. It's quite a distance away. We're also going to be heading up to Milwaukee again because Harley Davidson has decided to make the Homecoming Festival an annual event. We went last year when it was still every 5 years or whatever. Now, because last year went so well, they decided to make it an annual event. So it's going to be July 25th through the 28th, and we'll be going back up there for that. It is a celebration of all things Harley Davidson. It's like I said, it's going to be, Harley's trying to make it a new pilgrimage, if you will, right? They have bike shows, they have demo rides, they have that in most places. They also have the Harley Museum that's there. They were also giving tours of some of the factory that's there. We didn't go to that last year. But if you want to check out the things that we did do when we were there last year, again, we're going to put up in the right corner the link to that video. Again, it was very enjoyable. Had some really good concerts that were there. I don't know who's going to be there this year.
I don't know, because last year was the 120. And that's a big round year. So they brought out the big guns. They had Foo Fighters, Green Day, Cody Jinks. They had like big acts.
Yep.
But I don't know. And the whole celebration was very big. Like I said, born and raised in the Chicago area. I had no idea. I mean, obviously I knew about the Harley Davidson Museum in Milwaukee, and I'd been there, but I had no idea that they had this huge festival up there. And it was a lot of fun. But I'm wondering if, since they're making these annually, if it's going to be as big and awesome as it was last year, it being a nice round number and everything.
Then, speaking of Sturgis, we're going to try to head out to the granddaddy of them all this year, the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, which is from July 30th through August 4th this year. Now, it was founded in 1938. Sturgis is a mecca for bikers worldwide. People come from all over the globe to go to this thing. And it's really a week-long biker-centered party where everybody is welcomed because the city makes most of its income this week. Now, I have heard a little tip. Haven't tried it, but I have heard that if you go the week before, when everybody is setting up, there's less people but the same experience otherwise. Haven't tested that theory, just what I heard. So we're going to actually try to go during the actual rally this year because we've never been to it before. It's really expensive to get up to the Black Hills of South Dakota for us from Atlanta. So, traveling up there is several days, away from the day job. It's once you get up there, even after you make it up there, it's expensive to camp up there, let alone the hotels, which are usually booked well in advance. So, so that's why we haven't been. We want to go. We tried to go this last year, but we had a conflict. So we're going to try to make it. It's the big one we're going to try to make this year. But again, if you would like to sponsor this video, more than welcome. It's one of the most expensive ones we're going to be doing.
I'm really looking forward to the idea of just riding the bike through the Black Hills and all that.
Yeah, I want to go to the Mount Rushmore. There's tons of riding to do around there. We've been doing this for so long that we've done a lot of the vendor stuff already, and a lot of the vendors you see are repeats. A lot of the vendors are friends of ours, So we try to do a lot more riding nowadays. So we're really looking forward to that. We're actually wanting to spend longer time up there this time than we do at most rallies. Most of the time, like most people, we try to squeeze it in on the weekend in between working. But we may take a little more time off to enjoy it a little more this go round. Next on the list is Lake of the Ozarks Bike Fest, which we did last year. So instead, we're going to go to the one that runs congruently with it, which is in Ocean City, Maryland. It is called OC Bike Fest, and we haven't been to it before, and it runs the same dates, September 11th through the 15th. And because we haven't been to it before, we're going to try to make it out there. It promises to be a great event with, sun, sea, motorcycles.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Yeah. But for those of you that are choosing to go to Lake of the Ozarks, it was a great event too. We had some issues, of course, with the bike breaking down and whatnot last year. That video, again, top right corner. So next we're going to head to Smoky Mountain Bike Week in Maryville, Tennessee. Now the locals do not call it Maryville. They call it Merville.
Merville.
Yeah. I used to live in Knoxville. That's why I know this. Merville is really close to there.
You can call it Maryville, but someone's going to roll their eyes when you say it.
But last year was the first year that they had this rally. So it's fairly new as well. Now, we didn't get to go to it because by the time we found out about it, we were already going to Thunder in the Smokies, which, again, competing weekends. This year it's going to be September 28th through the 29th. It's very similar to the Thunder in the Smokies in that it's in the Smoky Mountains, the Great Smoky Mountains. Lots of great riding. Really enjoyed Thunder in the Smokies last year. We may go to it a different time than this is the fall one. We may go to it at a different time because I really liked going up there. It's really a great intimate setting for people that are want to connect with nature and other people that are in the biker community in a very laid back mountain environment. Right, the Blue Ridge Parkway is right there. Again, Thunder in the Smokies was great. Maryville is a little bit further down. That's where the Dragon is. So if you've heard of the Dragon, which is 318 curves and 11 miles, that's where that's closer to where Smoky Mountain is going to be. Not in the exact same place, but closer. That's Highway 129 if you haven't heard of it. Then as October rolls in, we're going to go back to Thunder Beach for their autumn rally, which is from October 25th through the 27th. Now, we weren't able to go to it last year, but it is one of our favorites as well. It's in Panama City, Florida. We went to it spring of 2022, so you can see, again, a video to that here. But we weren't able to go to it in 2023 for various reasons. Now, when we did go in 2022, Alchemy was still being worked on, getting all of our parts powder coated and whatnot. So we rented a bike through RiderShare. And so that video is a review of the event, but also RiderShare itself. Again, we'll put the video up here. It is the first event rally video that we did. So we've learned a lot since then as to how to make them. We've got different equipment, but still, it's there if you want to check it out. And then finally, of course, we're going to wrap up the year with St. Pete's Bike Fest, which is November 21 to 24. This is a great way to kind of close out the riding season. It holds a special place in my heart because it's where I actually came up with the idea for Alchemy's design. We were going there in 2022, and that's when I thought to do the customization to my bike that I then spent the next 6 months doing. Another conversation.
My house is still torn apart from it.
So if you didn't see that video from St. Pete, we're going to link it up here too. But that's the one that we usually go to at the end of the year. It's the last one of the year that we attend. It may be the last one of the year, period.
Yeah, I think it actually is. And surprisingly, I mean, the weather is starting to get cooler everywhere, but right around that time in Florida, in November, right before Thanksgiving, it's usually, knock on wood, pretty lovely. It's still weather cooperating, cool enough to where, you can wear sleeves at night, but warm enough during the day to where you want to go without a helmet. You're not going to get completely sunburned, but it's nice and warm, and really nice riding around the Sunshine Skyway. Sunshine Skyway. I'm going with that.
Yeah, it's nice and room temperature during the day. It does get chilly at night. Mm-hmm. So
sorry.
What's it funny?
We got cold. I remember I had a okay. So the last night that we were there last year, I had a hoodie on, and I did I have a helmet on? I think I did not have my helmet on. I think I had a baseball cap on. But my ears were still cold, so I would pull the hoodie up while I was riding on the back, and I would pull the drawstring, so I looked like Kenny from South Park, and all that was sticking out was like this, and I'm on the bike riding, and it was, I don't know, that's why I was giggling.
If you want to know about proper winter riding gear, we have a video for that as well.
Are you saying that wasn't proper winter riding gear?
But yeah, good times. So there you have it, folks. Our plans for the rally season in 2024. Locked and loaded. Well, maybe not. Let's just say that there are our plans.
Let's just say they are highlighted on our calendar.
Yes. It'll depend, of course, on the sponsorships that we can raise, whether we go to all of them or not. Also, we're not limited to only going to the ones that we had mentioned here. If you would like to sponsor the channel for a different event, reach out to us. Let us know. I would also like to do the Tennessee Motorcycle and Music Revival this year. It's May 16th through the 19th. And any excuse I can get to go back to the barbecue restaurants that were in Myrtle Beach, I will jump on. Again, Myrtle Beach has two, May and September. But we enjoy that as well. Now, if you're wondering why we haven't covered much of the West Coast, it is because
it's far away.
Distance and expense. We did go to Galveston. I didn't do a video for Galveston when we went there, but we did go. It's the furthest west that we have gone. We would love to go to these others, but it's so far from Atlanta, and it's going to cost a lot more in time and in money for us to attend. But sponsors can make such a thing happen.
Yeah.
So we're never say never.
If you have the means to help us get to the West Coast, give us a reason to go.
Yep, and we'll show it to you, and we'll showcase whoever it is that sponsors us to go there as a thank you. Yep.
Why didn't we do a Galveston video?
I haven't had time to edit it. I actually shot some.
Lazy. We had a blast in Galveston. Galveston was the Lone Star Rally, and that was first and only time I've ever been to Galveston. We had a really good time. Weather cooperated most of the time. But because you guys haven't seen a video of it, I'm going to give you a highlight of our trip. We went down with some friends, and we actually got to take a ferry boat across, I don't know where anything is, but across
the way.
the water there. The Gulf. Was it the Gulf?
I don't remember.
We're cultured. And so from like a body of land across the water to another body of land that was like an island. And we got off it. But you know, as stupid as it sounds, it was so much fun to go from riding the bike to riding the bike on a boat to being on a bike on a boat to being off the boat on a bike on an island, and then back home again in the evening. Yeah. It was really fun.
Now, I did shoot some footage of Galveston, but that was happening. It's another thing where we flew out there, we rented a bike because Alchemy was still in the shop during getting the project done. There was so much going on there. I never edited the video together. Maybe I'll do that so you guys can see it. But time got away from me because of the project that was going on, so we haven't made that. But it was a good rally.
It was, and actually, interestingly enough, from my perspective, it was the first rally that a particular group of friends went with us to. And they were brand new riders. It was a husband and wife, and they both had their own respective Harleys. And so we were showing off rally culture to them for the first time. And I had made kind of a statement that, generally speaking, larger rallies are not necessarily kid-friendly, especially in the evening. During the daytime, they're more friendly, but generally speaking, it's not a great place to bring youngsters to. If anything, because you want to be able to pay attention and have fun and ride around, and kids can kind of distract. But also because some of the vendor apparel and the things that you see are risque and not necessarily appropriate for children's eyes. And then in the evening, of course, you've got a lot of alcohol being consumed, and I don't think it's a safe place. I made this comment. Well, I will tell you that going down to the Galveston rally, I ate my words, because as big and beautiful as that rally was, it was actually not as risque in vendor apparel, equipment, the visuals that you saw. I did see a couple people there dressed scantily clad a little bit, some bartenders walking around in like bra tops. But otherwise, it was pretty tame. So I would say that if you're hell-bent on bringing your kids to a rally, if you're in that Galveston area, or if it's something you can get to, it's during the daytime. It's one of the rallies that I felt like was one of the cleanest I had been to. Maggie Valley was pretty clean. I brought my son there. But yeah, but it's a big rally. Galveston was. It was nice.
There's two main places. There's the Strand, which is the downtown area, and then there's out on the actual bay of the Gulf Coast, where you can drive there. Those are the two main areas that I know there that we went to, and then of course we went across to that island, which was
lots of vendors.
Maybe if I ever find time, I will edit that video, guys. It takes a lot to run this channel. I spend an awful lot of time editing video, shooting video, that sort of thing. And we're trying to build it up so that, eventually YouTube can make it worth our while. It hasn't happened yet. We need more followers, more subscriptions in order to meet YouTube's threshold to where they can start paying us. And
it doesn't cost you anything to like and share this.
Yeah,
and let
subscribe.
Your friends and family like and share this. Doing something free and easy really helps us out a lot.
Yeah, and it's really easy to get burnt out on doing this. I didn't know until I started doing it. So I want to continue bringing you guys this stuff. So whatever help you can give us as far as that goes is greatly appreciated. Mm-hmm. So if you know of a motorcycle related company or a restaurant in one of these areas that we go to, or anybody that could help to sponsor our traveling to all of these places as a channel, please invite them to go to graybeardbiker.com/sponsor. Again, we will make it worth their while for doing so, and we will thank them for allowing us to support our Harley habit and bring these shows to you guys. So we'll continue making videos of each one of these events that we get to attend. So make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can watch each one of the ones that we go to. And if you want to join us at any of these events, please do so. If you see us out there, say hi. You can make a plan. I had one guy reach out to me in the comments that wanted to make sure that he ran up would be there. More than welcome to do that also. You can also reach out to us on any of our social media platforms. We are on social media as Graybeard Biker in some way or fashion, in name on all of them. We also have a Facebook group called Gwinnett Motorcycle Rides and Events that we sponsor. Now, it's specifically for local people that are in the Atlanta area, but we talk about and make plans for all of the events that we go to on there. So if you want to meet us at one of the ones that we talked about, it will be discussed in that group for sure. So you're welcome to go there and check it out as well. So again, thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, stay free, keep it shiny side up.
Yeah.